We opened an antique store, but it had to be family friendly, where we could work and still have fun. Sometimes you have to climb a mountain or open some new doors to find the treasures inside. This is our life, this is our adventure, this is Curiosity Inc.
Hey everybody, so it is the holiday season, and as much as I love driving around in the old police car, it does not have the world's greatest heater. And if I need to make a big trip out of town to go on a big adventure across country, it's also probably not going to be the best riding car. So I need to get something a little bit more new, but I want to make sure it's interesting. I had been driving the old Honda Odyssey van, which although practical and great on gas, was not the most exciting vehicle. And in fact, if any car manufacturers are watching this video, I challenge you to make an interesting minivan that people will think is cool versus feeling like a soccer dad or soccer mom driving around in it. So I'm going to try and find something a little bit more unique and something I can maybe customize a little bit to work with our business. So let's go see what we can find. So after looking at my options, I know I didn't want to go back to a minivan, but I did want to get something a little bit more interesting. So I've decided after looking around that for the best money for value and the most interesting kind of looks that I can do a little customizing on, Chevy HHR is probably the way I'm going to go. So my father-in-law is driving me out this morning. So I've got Dave with me here, and I'm on my way to go pick up a Chevy HHR. The fellow's had it since basically brand new. It does have a few miles on it, but overall condition is apparently very good. So we're gonna go and pick this car up and check it all out. So off we go on the highway. And we're just about there, and I think I see it right there. So they've got it parked at the little U-Haul dealer here. And that's it. That's my new car, and I don't even know it yet.
Your destination is on the right.
There she is, so we'll go check her out. Okay, so I have successfully transferred over into the new vehicle, the HHR. First impressions of it, seems like a normal sort of vehicle. I don't know, new cars for me always feel like a rental vehicle because I'm so used to driving old classic cars, and when I get into a new one, it feels like I've just rented it. So I'll have to get past that feeling. But it seems to drive all right. I mean, it's not a huge vehicle by any means, but the cargo space looks pretty good, especially when the seats are down. It's driving fantastic, the heater's working good, so a lot of the important stuff that I was hoping for it are working just fine. And overall condition of the interior, as you can see, it's pretty nice. So yeah, really overall pretty happy with, and it's about what I expected. So the speedometer, so I'm in Canada and we have kilometers clearly. Speed limit where I'm at right now is 110, but if I go up to 120, let's say to pass a vehicle, the speedometer only goes up to 120. So if you're doing 130 or 140, you have no idea how fast you're going because the speedometer only goes up to 120, but yet the vehicle drives faster than that. So I guess if you're driving and you get pulled over and the officer says, do you know how fast you're going? You can actually say, no, I have no idea how fast I was going. And there's a big difference in a speeding ticket between getting one for going 10 kilometers over, one for going like 60 kilometers over. So kind of a bit of a design flaw. I ended up paying $2,500 for this car. It's a 2007, so not a bad price for it. And I'm gonna have to add a little bit extra in for the paint job, but you know, to be under $4,000 ideally is my plan, to have a safe, reliable daily driver car that looks pretty cool. So step one, getting the vehicle complete. Step two is going to be doing something funky and cool with the paint. So it's the next morning. Bought the vehicle yesterday morning. It drove fine. A couple little quirky things happened. One is that when I opened the door handle on the inside, it's plastic and it broke off, which means that now I have to roll down the window and reach my arm out and open the door up, so that's not super great. But I did order a new handle, and it was very inexpensive. It was only about 25 bucks, so that was cheap. I washed the car off because I have decided to take the car and get paint this morning. So moving fast, bought it yesterday, getting it painted today. But one little blip too, the the factory paint, I don't know, you guys may have seen this on some cars where the paint kind of peels off. Well, I was washing the car with a pressure washer and a big flap of paint flew off the back of the deck. So I'm gonna have to see if they can repair that for me too. I know they can, it's just gonna be probably an extra cost for the body work on that. So a little bit unexpected, but you know, these things happen. So I'm gonna get in the car and take it to the body shop, and hopefully next time we see it, it will be green. And overall, there's a fair amount of space inside the cockpit here as well. So it seems to be not a bad driving vehicle. For the day or so that I've had it, it's been pretty good. So now off to the paint shop and make it look a little bit more interesting, a little bit more in tune with what we do here at the antique store. The exterior, they at least tried. They tried something. The designer who also designed the PT Cruiser, he was trying to do something different, so I give him that. You know, there's a lot of different cars out there and a lot of choices. He was trying to go back and respect what the company had done back in the 40s and 50s. So I do get that. So that's kind of why I'm playing around with this car. It was inexpensive. It should be reliable, let's hope. The reviews are pretty good on its reliability, and it's interesting looking. So this is what I have to do to actually get myself out of the car now, because this handle broke right here. I have to put the window down, reach out, and let myself out. So not the easiest thing in the world. I wish they would have just made this out of real chrome metal, not chrome plastic, but it is what it is. So I'm at the body shop, just dropped off the keys, and I don't know if it's the same wherever you guys go, but every body shop seems to have one of these. Everywhere you go, there's candy machines. Choices, choices, choices. So I'm trying to pick something in this range here that's gonna be a little bit more 1950s looking. So just deciding whether I should go more blue or a little bit more green. So there she is. The last time I'm gonna see this vehicle all white like this. We're just doing an exterior spray only on it. Couple reasons. Well, actually the main reason is cost. It's cheaper just to do the outside. And this is not an expensive vehicle by any means. What I'm trying to do is make it look like a hot rod on a budget. So say goodbye to the rental vehicle white, and next will be say hello to something looking a little more hot rod. And I'm not convinced that my car is super happy driving in all this bad weather anyhow. I would say it's not happy. So the old Ford has been really trusty and reliable. It started every morning without being plugged in, and if you're watching from a warmer climate, we actually have little engine block heaters in our cars here where you plug it in so it warms up your coolant so your car starts and doesn't freeze solid. But it's been starting fantastic with or without being plugged in. But the weather is going to drop and it's going to be quite a bit colder. So it's timed to give the old police car a bit of a rest over the winter months here and start driving something a little bit newer. So I'm going to go off and pick up that HHR. I'm not completely done with my customizing yet, so stay tuned for more on that. But will be a lot nicer of a drive than it will be a lot nicer of a drive having a bit more of a modern car. So we're gonna head off and go check out that car. So it's a full-on blizzard, as you can see around me. This is the weather that I'm picking up the car in from the paint shop. So yeah, it's Christmas in 2 days, so we're getting our white Christmas, I guess, after all. But off we go. So I blame Dave for the blizzard because he said he wanted white fluffy snowflakes for Christmas. This is all your fault, Dave. Gotta get there in one piece.
And the highways were awful. There were accidents all along the way, so we had to be very careful driving on the way to the paint shop.
So here she is on an Arctic kind of day. I picked these sort of California 1950s sort of colors. Yeah, not very tropical right now. This paint scheme will make a lot more sense in summertime. But it started, and yeah, we did the rims red. So if I do get hubcaps, they're kind of a baby moon sort of look there. It'll look kind of neat. And the plan is to do a wrap on the outside here on the windows the same color, so it ends up looking like a panel van, like a sedan delivery. So yeah, now just get it home in one piece. Well, and I made it home in one piece. I'll have a better look at her in daylight. Well, my first impressions in the daylight, well, it's a little snow covered, is it's festive. It's red and green. I mean, it's Christmas time here. It's definitely got some festive colors going on. This is a seafoam green from the 50s, so you know, it's definitely got that 50s kind of paint scheme going on. I actually don't mind it. The rims are red because if I do find a hubcap, basically I just wanted a little bit of red sticking out. So we're not seeing this vehicle in its completely finished form yet. Again, the rear windows here, we're going to try and do some fancy decal work so it looks like a panel van. But all in all, the paint went on about how I expected. I asked them to do a dull finish to it, so I don't know if you can kind of see here. It doesn't really have much of a shine. It's a low gloss. The reason we did that is I wanted it to look like kind of a faded lacquer, which might sound kind of crazy, but the whole car is low gloss. So I thought it'd be a little bit more of an interesting look to make it look like an older sort of faded out panel delivery vehicle versus super shiny. So yeah, I'm gonna get my daughter after it warms up for a couple minutes here. We'll go for a ride. So it's the next morning. We're gonna take the car out for a test drive. My daughter, she wants to come with Dad for a test drive in the new car. So we're gonna get bundled up because it's really cold outside, and then go and hit the road and check out the new car, right, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Off we go. And off we go into the freezing cold winter morning, December 24th. Are you excited about Christmas tomorrow, honey? Yeah. Yeah, me too. Okay, hop in. So out for our first drive in the car together. This is the first time I've had family in the car. So you got lots of room back there, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think of the color?
It's one of my favorites.
It's one of your favorites? What color is it?
Turquoise.
Yeah, it's like a turquoise color. So do you think it's a cool car? Will you ride in it again?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. So I guess it passed the test of my daughter. Now just to finish up some of the extra details on it. I still have to get the decaling done on the rear windows, think about what I'm going to do for hubcaps, and then get some graphics for the side so it looks like a delivery vehicle. So step one is complete, getting the vehicle, getting it painted, driving this thing around, and then next we'll be modifying it just a little bit more to finish it up. So I just got my parcel in the mail here. I was waiting for this to come in. These are my new hubcaps that are going to be going on the HHR. They're from a company called Hubcap Mike, or a person named Hubcap Mike, in which case he really fulfilled his destiny with that name. But I'm excited to get them on the car. It's hopefully going to give it more of an old-fashioned look. So yeah, I'm going to tear into this box and get them put on. And aside from getting new hubcaps for the car, which I'm going to go and put on, I'm also going to apply some new decals. I love to do themes with these cars. This is going to be a delivery van. That's the idea, is it's going to look like an old-fashioned 40s, 50s delivery van. I sell a lot of oil cans, which you can kind of see behind me here. So I'm going with an oil and gas theme for this vehicle. I'm going with Redhead gasoline, which was kind of an obscure Canadian brand of gasoline. But very, very collectible. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to spruce up the car. So these will be going on the door, and hubcaps will be going on next. So this is the hubcap I've decided to go with. It's a baby moon style. It's a full disc moon. Hopefully give it a little bit more of an old-fashioned look. I've got my Redhead gasoline decal on it. Soon I'm going to have to get the decals for the back done to kind of black it out like a panel van. But let's get this hubcap put on, see how she looks. So new hubcaps are in place. The red rim, well, I really like that being kind of an homage to the old hot rodders. And I always kind of think like having fancy painted rims or having red rims behind a hubcap is kind of like wearing leopard print underwear. You might be the only one that knows it's there, but it gives you that extra edge. So as of today, this is how she's starting to look. We've got the old style hubcaps on. I've got my vintage Redhead gasoline decals on the doors. We've gone from the boring rental car white to the, in my opinion, a little bit more exciting seafoam green. So she's definitely starting to look more like an old-fashioned vehicle. Next will be decaling out the back two windows, and making it look more like a panel delivery van. So thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, another adventure as I converted that little HHR into something a little bit more interesting. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. There's always something kind of interesting happening around here. You can check us out on the web at curiosityedmonton.ca or on Instagram at curiosityincYHE. We're on Facebook as well. Anyway, there's lots of ways to reach us. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.